Hey everybody, Roger here, doing a dry run for what I would say would be the 50th anniversary of the Roger Wilson Guitar Studio that I opened up back in 1973. Now, right now, I earlier I went on live on the broadcast on the Guitar Studio page just to figure it out. Now I'm on Facebook profile, the Guitar Studio page, and YouTube. So hopefully I'll probably be seeing some of y'all here somewhere. But I'm just trying to figure the ropes out of being able to play videos and to tell the story of the last 50. It was June 7th was basically when I was preparing to split New Jersey and come back to Atlanta to just because I fell in love with the music and decided that's what I wanted to do. So it was, I think, on June 7th, and then June 8th, a buddy of mine, my high school roommate from Woodward Academy, Greg Miller, he and I headed to Washington, D.C., and then we went to the Allman Brothers Grateful Dead concert on June 9th. There was two big days there, June 9th and June 10th, where the Grateful Dead and the Allman Brothers Band were doing a monstrous show at RFK Stadium. And it was an amazing thing. So what I'm trying to figure out here is I have to go into a file and pull something up that I need to try to share. It's crazy. So I have to go into a file to find the program. There it is. So I'm going to go into the Allman Brothers file that I've made up. I'm going to open a picture. Try to share the screen. And I think it's going to work. There it is. And this is the one this is the program from 1973, RFK Memorial Stadium, Saturday, June 9th and 10th. I remember the night of June 8th, rolling my sleeping bag out in front of the Washington Monument. It was nothing but a bunch of hippies out there going to the show the next day, Deadheads and Allman Brother fans. It was quite a time. I remember the Capitol Police were rolling by at like 6 in the morning, getting everybody up. But then it was about 6 hours of the Grateful Dead that day, and about another 4 hours of the Allman Brothers Band. They came on just about when lights were being used, and then after that, it was a big jam with Jerry Garcia and Dickie and everybody else. It was really cool, and that's when I ventured off into the night to take it on into the wee hours, heading out into Virginia and heading south. So that's the program right there, and a lot of good memories of that. It was pretty cool, I got to admit. It was not the second day I heard the way it was. The Allman Brothers Band played first and the Dead played afterwards. I heard some recordings on that later on. So that's one of the things that was going on. But then I rolled into Atlanta, and I remember there was a gentleman that basically gave me an opportunity. Looking over here, neighborhood childhood friend from way back from Jersey. All right. It was an opportunity that I had. I was wanting to go back to the South, and I'd already been eaten up with the music, so that was that's where that was headed. But I wasn't like I was hired to a job or anything like that. This guy had an opportunity. He was teaching guitar lessons at a building on the north of Atlanta, and he gave me an opportunity to move in and to try to build something up. And so that's kind of what I did. I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but it was a start. And so I was there about a month, I think, before I could figure anything out. I know I needed to, try to build a business. But after about a month or so, I remember working with the music stores, and I was trying to get a gig here and there. And was enrolling. And so one thing led to another, and I first took some lessons, and then I got 2 students, and they were there a couple of weeks, and I think I lost one, and then I kept putting the ads out, and one by one, I started building a little bit of a clientele, and that's how it worked out. And I basically remember teaching. I was teaching somebody basically how I learned myself, which was just basically to read music, and somewhere along the line things changed. Let's see if I can go to this other file here. I know things were changing. Rock and roll was starting to take off. Corporate radio was kicking in. It was basically, it was getting real corporate. It was starting to get there. So this was I think this was my first ad right here. And if I go into, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better at this as it goes along. So let's see. All right, I want to share this file. There it is. This is the one I want to share. No, that's not it. All right, let's go back into the file here part. Yeah, this is like one of my first ads. Pull that up and then go into, you get in the window, and there we are. So this is one of the for the Roger Wilson Guitar Studio, specializing in guitar theory and improvisation. I can teach you how to read, and I can teach you how to play. And that's kind of, I just wanted to make it fun and make it interesting for folks to do it, and that's how it worked out. And then I guess a year or so later, or sometime maybe within the first year, there was a kid that came in. Here's the ad. I got to make sure that I put it up so you can see it. That helps. There was a kid that came in with a guitar, a nice clean cut kid. I think he was in a school uniform or something. He had a record album in one hand and a guitar in his other hand. And yeah, I said, man, I would like for you to just show me something on this record. I could, And I said, well, you don't really know how to play yet. You really have to get some background. You can't do this thing overnight. Although I think people are doing it overnight now. But he said, yeah, just show me something I can have some fun with. And so I went, I ran with that. And I think he gave me he picked out a song. I think it was a Led Zeppelin album or something. And I put it on the turntable and I started tuning it up. And Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. Here, put that ad back up again. I think it was Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. I started tuning it up, and he was going, yeah. And he worked on it for like 30 minutes trying to get the one basic lick, and he left there, and he was basically just happened. And then after that, it seemed like my phone didn't stop ringing for about 10 years. Kids calling me, play rock and roll, learn how to play the stuff they wanted to learn how to play and keep it fun. And that's how that evolved. And that's how I made my living. I was just wanting to, probably just play guitar basically. And then I was showing folks, what I know, or what I knew rather, and kind of left it at that. So anyway, that's the one thing. So I'm going to pull that back off. And yeah, Jim, I'm not sure what's going on with this camera. I might have to put another. This is a camera that I don't really use on this computer, but that's what's up with that. But yeah. So moving on. A little later on, let's see if I can pull up another one here. So after about, well, here's a picture of me in my first studio. There was 2 locations that I had in North Atlanta, and one was a let's see, gotta pull up the window there. Yes, this is me sitting in my office on the first location, back on Far Road in North Atlanta. There was all these buildings now, and this whole neighborhood's gone. It's all high-rise condos now and office buildings. But this was just a funky old building from way back, and for about the first year. But building a business and trying to figure it out. So it was a hairstylist downstairs. It was called the Wizards of Oz, spelled AHS, hairstylist, and they were good people. They had just a regular hairstylist, and I was upstairs for about 7 years, from about 1973 to about 1980, and then after that, I ended up moving, and there was another location that I had gone to, and let's see if I can find that. So then I came up to a storefront, and let's go to share that one. Okay, that's not working. Got to go to the window. There you go. That's there. All right. So here's a picture of the storefront, and that was over on Piedmont Road in Atlanta for about 1980 to 1985. And then I remember I was kind of burnt out, and I location and going into broadcast news for still playing in a band and had a gigs all over the place. I never stopped playing. I kept going the whole time, and it was a long, strange trip. Long about. Then I got married in 1981, and then my first son was born in 1984, and then my second son was born in 1987. I was still working in broadcast, but then around 1990, I started teaching again. I got a job at a music store, and I started doing that. But I never did stop playing. I had a band together and was playing gigs most of the time, and so it was, just evolved into what it is. And about 1988 is when I ended up going to CNN full time on the CNN radio network for about 2 years, and then ended up going up to TV in 1988. 86 is when I went to CNN. 88 is when I went to TV, and I was there until 1996. So it was, and then when I left there in 1996, I went on the road full time and just kind of really never looked back. So I'm going to also I'm going to go ahead and share see if I can get like I'm figuring out how to do these stills here. I had to get on with support from StreamYard to figure out how to get a JPEG up there. And so there's a little process to go through, as you can tell. But then if I want to go into, let's see if I want to go into get a video here. And there's some pretty cool stuff that I think I can definitely pull out. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's see if I go. back in here. Of course, last week over Memorial Day weekend or whenever that was, I was running a whole big live stream. And let's see if I can. There we go. Here's the live stream. And so I think what I'll do is I'll lay back a minute and I'll play this song here for you guys. This is 2017 at Mad Life of Woodstock, Georgia. So I'm going to play this video here. It's a pretty cool tune we've had some fun doing. And then I will come back and check the comments and see what's happening. I think that has to load. But this is just a dry run for now for June 24th. I'm going to do an all-day marathon on Saturday and kind of put the word out about the 50th anniversary. And there's a lot of former guitar students that I'm still in touch with, which is going to be kind of cool. So as far as the okay, looks like it might have dropped out there for a minute. I still want to try to present a video, and that's what I got to figure out how long if that's going to take a long time, or how my signal is holding up here. So I think that seems to be up okay. There we go. Give it a shot.
If I was feeling good or bad, I could write a song. I didn't care what was going on, right or wrong. The feeling could strike here, there, near or far. But all I had to do was pick up my guitar. I love to sing the words, I love to feel the groove, I love to feel the backbeat of the shoes. Well, it's all old school, it's really nothing new. These are the reasons that I do what I do. Let me tell you. Music did for me what I could not do for myself. It brought me through hard times when I needed help. But all it did was for the music to plant the seed. And the music would give me all I would ever need. I love to sing the words, I love to feel the groove, I love to feel the backbeat of the shoes. Well, it's all old school, it's really nothing new. These are the reasons that I do what I do. These are the reasons that I do what I do. These are the reasons that I do what I do.
Yeah, so there's that. That was part of the live stream from a few weeks ago on a week or so ago on Memorial Day, and that was from the DVD that we did back in that was 2019 at Mad Life Stage and Studios in Woodstock, Georgia, and so that was a lot of fun. So anyway, I guess the way I'm going to get used to this is being a dry run right now. It's going to be real kind of a casual thing because it'll be an all-day deal, on the 24th. That's the I was in business during this week, 50 years ago today, and this week I was basically traveling and heading south to figure it out. There's been a lot going on, for the last 50 years, no doubt. If I get into, let's see if I have to get rid of that. And if I go back into, so later on, well, I guess not too long after I was in business, a friend of mine designed a logo for me because I'll tell you what the story was. The story was really funny, and it was a total accident. I think the way this really happened, because as I told you, I had come in for an opportunity through a mutual friend that there's the logo. And let's see, make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Yeah, I blew that. The opportunity was through a mutual friend that basically had an opportunity, and all right, there it is. Try to bring it in bigger. Go in there. There you go. All right, there it is. So anyway, this friend of mine had designed a logo for me, but the way it came up was I was sitting about a year into it. The guy that originally owned the studio, his place was called the Buckhead Music Studio, and he was teaching guitar lessons. And then I moved in, and we decided to kind of join forces and make it a partnership kind of business, which that wasn't too bad. And we called it the Atlantis Music Studio. And I guess we called it that because it began with A, and back then in the phone book, you wanted everything to begin with A. They wanted to be the first one that people were going to see. And so, long about a year into it now, I'm doing pretty good. I'm teaching quite a few students. I built up a little reputation. I had a band together. I was working part-time in radio, and I'm sitting at my desk. I think that last shot, that same desk I was sitting at, and the phone rang, and it was the phone company. And they were calling about the phone bill. And I had noticed that I hadn't seen my friend around, that much. I mean, he had sort of been distracted and was into some other stuff. So he hadn't been really putting a lot of energy into the studio, and I didn't see many students coming. So what was happening was the phone company, and back then there was no cell phones or nothing. There was just, strictly a landline, and the phone company was right around the corner where you could walk around the corner and pay the bill, that kind of thing. So he called me up, and he wanted to speak to the owner, and I said, well, he's not here, but I'm doing most of the work here. I need to figure it out. And he said, well, the phone is getting ready to be disconnected, and if somebody needs to pay the bill. And like I said, I noticed I hadn't seen my buddy around in a while. So he said, would you like to open a new account? I said, well, can you just, because I was at a loss for words like I am now. And he was saying, he said, well, if you want to, keep this account, you'll have to open get a new phone number and open it under a new name, but we can get you set up. And I'm thinking, man, this was just like I was at a loss. So he said, well, how do you want to list this? I said, yeah, I need a phone. So let's open an account. And this was a business line as opposed to a landline. So like the deposit, I think, was like $50 or something like that, which was just exorbitant for that time to me. Now it's nothing. But he said, well, how do you want to name it? And I'm thinking, well, can you just keep it under the Atlantis Music Studio? And he says, no. They says that's the delinquent account. We can't do that. We've got to do open it in a new name. And I'm sitting there thinking, I said, well, I can't really think of anything. He says, well, you want to get back with it? I said, no, we're going to figure something out. I need a phone. That's how I operate. That's the only way. That was the way you lived. There was the fax machines weren't even invented by then. So I said, well, we'll call it the Roger Wilson Guitar Studio. And when I said that, it kind of just rolled out like, man, yeah. I'm thinking, man, people are going to think I'm crazy, but it stuck. I mean, that was the account. And then I found that I had to pay for Yellow Page ads. Even if it was a small ad, Yellow Pages charged more. So we're getting in a few $100 here now, which was a lot of money back in 1974. And so, but I ran with it, had my own little ad in the Yellow Pages, and I continued on, and that's how it happened. And then one thing led to another. I kept running the business, and I ran it in that one location for 7 years, 1973 to 80, and then moved over to the other location that I showed you a little bit earlier. So that's a friend of mine that was doing some graphic arts at the time. He knew I needed a logo, and he drew that out for me. And that's the ad I started running with. I think I put one up a little while ago that you saw. So I'm just, as I sit here and talk about it, now I wrote a book back in 2015. I told a lot of the story about, how things evolved. And, once I sit here and start talking about it, I can, memories start, coming alive. So it's pretty cool. If I go to, let's see, I'm going to remove that and then can try another. Kind of doing it like a disc jockey, I suppose, on the long form. By then, I will have tried to have maybe advertised it and got the word out some, and there we go. This is cool, and folks will be coming in, and a lot of the former students that I had and friends, and we'll be just spending some time together, hanging out, and that'll be on Saturday, June 24th. Of course, I'll probably play some long videos in between, and then maybe plan on coming back in on the top of each hour and talking for a while and just see what happens. So anybody that's out there, be sure to pass the word. Here's a video that I did. I've always been a Doors fan. Back a couple months, back last fall, I decided to LA Woman by the Doors. And
got into town about an hour ago. I took a look around to see which way the wind blows. With the little girls in a Hollywood bungalow. Are you a lucky little lady in the city of light? Or just another lost angel? City of night. City of night. City of night, city of night. Woo! Drive through the suburbs into your blues, yeah, into your blue, into your blues. Woo! I see your hair's a burning, hills are filled with fire. If If they said I never loved you, you know they are a liar. Driving down your freeways, midnight alleys roam, cops in cars, topless bars. Never saw a woman so alone, so alone, so alone, so alone. Motel money, murder, madness. This train's the move from glad to sadness. Mr. Mojo rising, Mr. Mojo rising, Mr. Mojo rising, 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 Mr. Mojo rising, gotta keep on. Mr. Mojo rising, gotta keep on rising, rising, rising. Mr. Mojo rising. Well, I just got into town about an hour ago. I took a look around to see which way the wind blows. Where the little girls in the Hollywood bungalows. Are you a lost little lady in the city of light? Or just another lost angel? City of night. City of night, city of night, city of night. Every woman, every woman, every woman, every woman, every woman, every woman, every
right, there it is. That's the version of LA Woman that I recorded back last fall or so. So anyway, this is like I said, this is a dry run for June 24th. I'm gonna 10 hours that day just to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the guitar studio and the fact that I made it this long. You know, being around, being in Georgia and in business and playing guitar and raising a family and just stumbled and fell a few times, but have basically survived it, and I'm proud to be here. Also, I'm probably going to do I might do another live shot. Father's Day is coming up, so today's June 7th. Father's Day is June 18th, and I have a brand new song that I did for Father's Day. Not actually for Father's Day, but I went through with me. There was a time when I had proved to him that I guess that he said he didn't have to worry about me anymore. The whole story is song that you're going to hear is going to really reflect that whole thing. But when I was about 10 years old, back up in Jersey, my dad built me a boat. He always loved boats, and he never really got to live his dream, on living on a houseboat or sailing the seven seas or anything like that, but he still loved boats. And so he built me a little 8-foot boat and took me out to the creek near where I lived. They used to swim in all the time and put me on about 100-foot rope and let me go out into the creek. And I felt like I was Christopher Columbus, but he was holding on to the end of the rope, and I was paddling around and having a good time. But I knew how to swim pretty well. I don't think he knew that. I was pretty brave. So the paddle fell in the water, and he kind of had a shocked look. He was like kind of a little panic-stricken look that he had. And I went ahead and jumped in the water and went over, swam over, got the paddle, came back over and jumped back in the boat. That's when he coiled the rope up and tossed it to me. He says, "You're on your own, man. I'm going home." And he told me years later that was the time that he didn't have to worry about me anymore. And I went through these two things, those same things later on with my two boys. They're 38 and 35 now, but when they were late teenagers, each one of them did something. I'm not going to go into it now, but each one of them did something that I thought, well, that's it. I don't have to worry about them. They've got a handle on it. So I guess that sort of happens. So if I go into here, and I just put it up on YouTube today. This was a song. It's called "I'll Never Worry About You Again," and I'm gonna. Here we go. Worry About You Again. This is a brand new single. I'm going to be doing got a video up. I'll probably be doing a live. Another live broadcast on Father's Day with a friend of mine, Alan Warren, out of Texas. He's got a big YouTube channel. Got a channel called Wingman Wisdom, and he gets on there. But he's in the RV business, which I've been in for a long time, and so he and I've been on his radio broadcast for a long time, and it evolved into him for getting a YouTube channel, and that's kind of what it's evolved into me too. So that's kind of where we're sitting here. But this is let me share that. Let's see, I have to go to. There's things you have to do here, and here it is. All right, so I'll go back in again and hunt it down. Here it is. That's called "I'll Never Worry About You Again." right, let's see. That's now look at the videos doing some weird. Somebody just emailed me about it, the track not being able to hear the vocals on that. That was kind of strange. So I know there's some internet gremlins going on here. So let's go back in. And I guess I can't do the video unless it's just an internet thing. If I can play an MP3, I don't think I can. So let's figure this out. That's why we're here doing this dry run. So if I go over to I'm gonna figure something else out here. Let me go back in and grab another video. I'm gonna get rid of that one. And I'm gonna go back in here. Gotta remove that. And go back in here again. And let's see, I guess I'll go back to the Mad Life. All right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back into the Mad Life live stream. I think I did songs in this earlier, but we'll just to the middle here.
We'll never know 'cause we're all out. Got me accused of taxes, but I ain't got a dime. got me accusing children, but ain't no love in mine. Bad love is killing me. Lord, I just can't stand no more of that third degree. Thank you so much to the Chicago Blues by the legendary Eddie Boy. Thank you all so much for being here. There's a mannequin reporting from the White House lawn. There's another one talking out in front of the Pentagon. Then they cut to chase a politician up Capitol Hill. They stick a microphone in his face to say what he will. Those talking heads would have it they said. Another strange face, just talking in place. Then they cut to the blonde covering the political race. She's
Yeah, that's one of the things that happens there. So it's that's why we're doing the dry run for the to figure it out. Try to figure it out. Probably won't figure it all out, but we'll figure some of it out. Anyways, the internet went down on that. So what I was going to try to do was maybe find another video here to play and just test it out. I'm learning gradually how to do the put up a JPEG. I had to get on with support for a while, but finally figured that out somewhat. So let's see what I can come up with here. I just kind of just playing around. This is, like I said, this is a dry run, and here's the full set. Yet back in the latest CD came out in Macon, Georgia from New Year's Eve. And so I figured I'd just see what's up with that a little bit. I'm trying to having some trouble, obviously, with the internet, with some vocal tracks not coming through, and I'm not really sure why that is. So let's see.
Why I do what I do.
We'll run with this for a minute.
Started playing music cause it was fun. There was nothing I loved doing better under the sun. It gave me satisfaction I never knew. It gave me reason to do what I do. If I was feeling good or bad, I could write a song. I didn't care what was going on, right or wrong. The feeling just right, here, near or far. All I had to do was pick up my guitar. I love to sing the words, I love to feel the groove, I love to feel the backbeat under the shoes. It's all old school, there really ain't nothing new. These are the reasons that I do what I do. Music did for me what could not do for myself. It brought me through hard times when I needed help. All it took was for the music to plant the seed. The music would give me all I would ever need. I love to feel the groove, I love to feel the groove, I love to feel the backbeat under the shoes. It's all old school, it's really nothing new. These are the reasons that I do what I do.
Went out for a walk and I got chased by a three-legged dog. Started off the day not feeling too bad. I was hoping for a good day, don't wanna be sad. But it all started when I went downstairs. Wasn't gonna be my day, that was clear. My first mistake was when I answered the phone. I should have just let it ring, left it alone. And now I rang the bell and wrote me a letter. The news in there wasn't much better. Asked myself, where's my good love gone? It always shows it too short and never too long. Just when I thought nothing else could go wrong, to top it all off, I got chased by a three-legged dog. Drive downtown, might lift my spirits, I was feeling down. A cop pulled me over, might be looking for me. Just added insult to injury. I asked myself, where's my good luck gone? It always shows it too short, but never too long. When I thought nothing else could go wrong, to top it all off, I got chased by a three-legged dog. Really like to have a day when things went right. I wish for days like that every night. I can't even walk down the street before a three-legged dog runs after me. I ask myself, where's my good luck gone? It always shows it too short, but never too long. It's when I thought nothing else could go wrong, to top it all off, I got chased by a three-legged dog. When I thought nothing else could go wrong, to top it all off, I got chased by a three-legged dog. Thank you. That's on my CD that I did back in 2008. The CD was an acoustic CD called The Way I Am. This next tune is one on an Americana CD I did in Nashville back in 2010. This is I was in the broadcast news business for a long time, and I still kind of keep up with that. And there was a show on one day, there was a young lady interviewing a couple of guests on a network news program. And somehow I think she might have lost control of her interview, and one of the guests turned around and asked her a question, and that's not usually supposed to happen, but it did. It kind of caught her off guard, and I remember her saying, she says, well, I just don't know what I believe anymore. And so I came up with this song right here. always believed what they told me I should. Thought they were right, and I took them at their word. Years went by, many questions arose. Seems what once was isn't now. No one knows. What was wrong is now right. What was right is now all wrong. I wish I knew the answers so I could sing them in this song. Everybody's talking about what you can and cannot say. Everybody's telling us that their way is the only way. Everybody's trying to change each other's mind for sure. I just don't know what I believe anymore. Freedom of speech was written to protect. Now we're told to be politically correct. Say what I have to say, I say it my own way. I'll say Merry Christmas, I won't say Happy Holiday. Everybody's talking about what you can and cannot say. Everybody's telling us that their way's the only way. Everybody's trying to change each other's mind for sure. I just don't know what I believe anymore. Is anybody held accountable today? Does anybody have responsibility? It seems like no one is careless anymore. We got what we pay for, should we have paid a little more? Everybody's talking about what you can and cannot say. Everybody's telling us that their way's the only way. Everybody's trying to change each other's mind for sure. I just don't know what I believe anymore. Just don't know what I believe anymore.
So there we go. That's part of the live stream I did over Memorial Day weekend. That's from the CD entitled Live. That was recorded live in Macon, Georgia on New Year's Eve. Once again, now this is just a dry run for the live stream I'm going to do for the 50th anniversary of my studio that I had for quite a few years, and I'm still online with it. But it's a Roger Wilson Guitar Studio from 1973. So Rick Diamond, man. Rick was around with me during those early years, for sure. Yeah, I'm going to be doing this live broadcast, and so really what I'm trying to do now is just figure out how to run this StreamYard thing. It's pretty cool. I'm learning a lot. I'm figuring out how to put JPEGs up and then run back and play some videos. And gonna just kind of maintain a long live broadcast all day long on the 24th. I'm going to advertise it between now and then, send out some invitations and emails and things, and so more people will know about it. Right now, I just kind of ran cold, and you folks that have showed up on there, yeah, it's just kind of on the fly here. So, yeah, man, Far Road. I was telling everybody earlier, Rick, it was at 220 Far Road. I was there from 1973 to 1980. And then I moved over to Piedmont Road for 5 years, and that was the brick and mortar locations. And then I kind of put that on the back burner for a while and went into broadcasting for full time, and then was still playing in bands and doing gigs. And then about 86 or so, ended up at 96, went on the road full time and never really looked back, and started recording albums and writing songs and just maintaining, keep doing the music that I wanted to do, that when, which is the reason I showed up back in the South anyway. So, yeah, a lot of Buckhead's gone, man. A lot of those things that the old, I'm saying the old building where the hairstylist was in your studio, the photographer studio, and then I was upstairs, all high rise and just scraped down. And I can't say I didn't see it coming, but there it is for sure. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to try to find. We'll go back into the video. And over the years, I've written a lot of songs and done quite a few videos with them. And I've got one here. This is one I was going to put on I think a DVD work. There we go. So back when I was on the road, I was doing some stuff in Nashville and then also in Iowa, and I became kind of a fan of the show American Pickers. I know you've seen it before, and so when I was there it is. So when I was out on the road with these guys, I stopped by their store, both of their stores. I actually played a gig at their store in Nashville, and so when I was there, I did a bunch of video shooting. I shot all the items, some of the stuff that you might have seen on TV, a lot of the stuff that they went out and picked around the country. And then I went to their store in Iowa, and I was on the road passing through, and I went there and I shot a video of everything in the store. And then I put it on, I wrote a song called American Pickers on the Road. And this goes back, it's all different now. They got some different hosts in there in addition to Mike and Danielle. But I think I was just, and I sent it to them, and I think they liked it from what I heard. And I gave them a few copies. But anyway, this is called American Pickers on the Road. And this is just the video that I put together. And hopefully you like it.
We like it covered with dust, we like it covered with rust. The deeper we dig, all the better for us. We like stuff that's old, to us it's like gold. Then we get it all cleaned up and give that sucker sold. We take great pleasure in finding buried treasure that's not seen a lot of day. We go through old garages and search old barns too. It's got to be really old, we don't want nothing new. We are American pickers, we're out on the road. We ain't happy till we head home with a big van load. We're searching attics and barns scientifically. We are American pickers, antique archaeology. America, one piece at a time, taking what's been thrown away and bringing it back to life. A lot of windshield time, to us that's just fine. We never know any day what we're gonna find. Daniel makes the call, Mike and Frankie find it all, searching this land high and low to make that perfect haul. We are American pickers, we're out on the road. We ain't happy till we head home with a big van load. We're searching attics and barns scientifically. We are American pickers, antique archaeology. We are American pickers, antique archaeology.
All right, I think we're gonna have some fun that day. I think we will. So let's take it out here. That was American Pickers on the Road. That was a song and video that I produced, and just because I really liked the TV show. I really liked it when they first started out. I think it's sometimes when things are on a while, they get a little bit more corporate and I don't know, maybe staged, but still some great stuff. I still love watching it. And like I said, this is a dry run for June 24th. I see some Rick Diamond, man. I'll tell you what, we go back on Far Road, man. There was some there was some wild and crazy times back in those days there, no doubt. But I tell you, over the 50 years, a lot's happened. I've got, two wonderful boys. Roger Jr., he's 38 now. Ryan is 35, and both of them have families of their own and doing great. And so I kind of lived through some of the tough times, but still came out, I think okay. One thing I'm doing here, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm on StreamYard, which is a wonderful forum for streaming live. And right now I'm live on YouTube. You can go over to YouTube also. YouTube is youtube.com/Roger Wilson Guitars, the channel. Love to have you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That always helps. And then, of course, I'm running live on Facebook on the profile page and also on the Guitar Studio page. I've got 3 forums I could run to. And so I'll be doing that on the 24th. I may do something for Father's Day ahead of time, possibly. Let's see here. So I'm seeing comments. I'm running on the phone and watching here. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Once I, work out the bugs and figure out what I can get away with and what I can't. The easiest thing here is to put a video up. What was really tough, and I was having to go with support earlier, what I was having a hard time with was trying to figure out how to put up a JPEG. Because a lot of times, like for instance, I want to go, if I want to, I got to share it. And then I have to go back to a file first. And I think Rick, you'll recognize this here. This is me back sitting in my office on Far Road a while back. Let's see if that takes off. There we go. All right, I'm going to share that. So that's that's back around 1977. And Rick Diamond, he had a big photography studio, was doing all kinds of folks, man. Still big time photographer, man. Just some great stuff. Pink Floyd, I mean, you name it, man. I mean, Rick has shot I think he just posted some pictures of Tina Turner recently that he had done a while back. So that was really kind of cool. Then I was showing some stuff. Let's see. And if I go into another file, I wish I didn't have to jump through so many hoops. But here's the logo. This was okay. All right. Oh yeah, I got to go to the window. There's this thing you got to click on. If you don't do it, then you're done. So there's the old Guitar Studio logo. I showed this up earlier, and so these are just some JPEGs of the old days. I think I remember I had an early flyer. I'm going to try something else here. Okay. This was a flyer for the Piedmont Road location. Now, this is the kind of flyer that you would do on a computer now. Probably have it done within 5 minutes. But back there, graphics company, and they had to draw the stuff in there, typeset it, and then print it, and send it back in a, so I mean, we've come a long way as far as the technology. And the fact that I can sit here, and talk about it, the fact that I lived through it, but I'm having a really good time. So that was one of the, there weren't a lot of pictures back in those days. So let's see, we get, and this is the Roger Wilson Guitar Studio file. Let's see if I can. Okay, and I showed this one. There we go. Oh, this is hilarious. No, that's not it. This is it. Let me remove that. And then we go to, all right, I'm going to stop the screen. I'm going to go back in again. All right, let me go back in. That came out too big. Let's see. There we go. This is one of my ads. I think this is like out of a newspaper. Might have been Creative Loafing. And what's really funny about this, and you didn't dial an area code, you just dialed the number. Now, if you were dialing another area code, like there were back then, there were 2 area codes in Georgia. It was 404 for Atlanta, and there was Savannah, South Georgia, 2 area codes. Of course, now if you had to dial another area code, you got charged a lot. It was long distance, and even out of, but then out of the Atlanta area, like for instance, Canton, Georgia, was long distance, and you were charged. I mean, you had phone bills. Now with the technology, we call anywhere depending on the plan we've got, and it's just incredible. But that was the way it was back then. You just pick it up and dial the number, and that's the way it was. No email. When I had that phone number, first got it, I think fax machines weren't even invented by that time. So it's kind of funny. But this is just some of the basic stuff that I had going on, back early on when I was trying to run a business and, teaching guitar lessons. So if I go back into my file here, I'm seeing what I have to do is I have to go through. Here's the other ad. I showed this earlier. But if I go in, I have to hit the window, and then here's the old ad, the other ad I showed earlier. This was I think this is out of Creative Loafing or something. You know, everything was print back then. It was all print. I mean, phone book and print. That was it. That was how you did it. Print out and then have flyers printed and do it and get the word out. And stood by the landline constantly. That's how we worked it out. I got to remember to click on it to show it, to bring it up to you. So there's that. But just, man, I'll tell you that this was back around 77, 78, and into the 80s. Now that was still on Farr Road until 1980, and then after that it went over to the Piedmont location. And so if I take this down, and I go through my file, I think I showed the storefront earlier. So here's after 1980 to 85, then I moved over to Piedmont Road, and that's the store. So as you can see, I'm learning. Once I get the word out, and I have a bunch of former students, I think that'll check in, and we'll be on YouTube and Facebook and on the Guitar Studio page, and I think we'll have a whole lot of fun. Right now, I've been on. I'm going to do a 10-hour thing on the 24th. Right now, I've been on for about an hour and 35 minutes, and between now and then, I guess I'll bring some more songs up. If I go into, let's see, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to stop the screen, and I'm going to go back into the video file and see if I can come up with something else here. This was okay. Well, here's something cool. This was back about 5 or 6 years ago. I got to sit in with the Kentucky Headhunters when they came through Marietta, Georgia. So let's give them a shot. This is me at the Strand Theater in Marietta, Georgia, with the Kentucky Headhunters. All right, so there's that one video there from a few years ago. So anyway, when I get to on the 24th, when I get out here, I'm going to just kind of have some fun. Hopefully there'll be more people along to I appreciate you guys that showed up now. This is just, like I said, a test run and see what I can get away with. Now, if I want to pull up another file, I'm going to try this while I'm here doing this. What they say I got to do, I got to close out the main file if I want to go to pictures. So I have to go. Let's see here. Oh yeah, another thing that I did, I got a chance to work with some really good, a couple of about 3 different high schools, playing with the jazz band. I thought was really cool, and so I got to I did a thing in Oklahoma with the Chakotah High School band back in 2015, and this was Carrie Underwood's high school, and so I was able to cut a live CD with the band there, and so if I share the screen here and I go up to window, there it is, and it comes up. Sometimes I amaze myself, y'all. That's it's just Carrie Underwood's high school. And that's the plaque they put in the high school. But there was one picture in there, a bronze plaque, and the picture was not very flattering, and she didn't like it at all. So they yanked it out. And this was before it got put up on the wall, and I got to take a picture with it. This was back in 2015. So this is that was one of the CDs that I was able to pull out. Kids, it was just a lot of fun. And then some of the videos that I did with these kids, we had a really cool time. Let's see. It was depending on what I listed it under. Oh man, I might have done it on the other computer. There's a lot of videos I have in another computer. Let's see. All right. Well, here's well, this is what some other musicians. Not just what this was the high school band, but it was the same festivals in Renniesville, Oklahoma. I've been playing there for about since about 03. So 20 years since I've been playing the Renniesville Festival. Here's one track we did from that.
This next song here is one I had a lot of fun with for many, many years. I used to hear DC play it. It was also written by the legendary James Peterson, who used to come here every year way back when. I had some fun with this one called If You Let the Devil Ride, He's Gonna Want to Drive. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. If you let the devil ride, yeah, gonna wanna drive. Devil's out on the highway, trying to flag a ride. Just keep on driving. Don't pay no mind. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. 'Cause if you let the devil ride, yeah, gonna wanna drive. Devil come to your house, start sniffing around. Just keep your doors locked. Don't let him hang around. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. 'Cause if you let the devil ride, yeah, gonna wanna drive. Devil's out there, you one mechanic, tune up your engine real good. Just keep your doors locked. Don't let him under your hood. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. 'Cause if you let the devil ride, yeah, gonna wanna drive. Devil's out on the highway, trying to flag a ride. Just keep on driving. Don't pay no mind. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. 'Cause if you let the devil ride, yeah, gonna wanna drive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. devil's loud. Just don't let him in, don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. You know, no, no. Don't let the devil ride. Now everywhere you go, devil's nationwide. Like all state insurance, devil's nationwide. Don't let him ride. Don't let him ride. Cause if you let the devil ride, gonna wanna drive. Cause if you let the devil ride, you're gonna wanna drive. If you let the devil ride, you're gonna wanna drive. If you let the devil ride. You know he's gonna wanna drive. 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 Can I get a witness out here tonight, y'all? Raise your hands, Lord. Yes, Lord. So glad. You know he's gonna wanna drive. Yeah.
That was back in Renniesville, Oklahoma. Number of years back. Been playing that festival for about, gotta be 20. My first time there was 03, so it's been 20 years that I've been working. We did an online thing that year. So, man, I'll tell you. So it's coming up on 2 hours here that I did this as a dry run. I've learned a lot by just sitting here and talking to some friends. Rick, I hope to see you Sunday, man. I'll be at Mad Life in Woodstock, Georgia, playing from 2 to 5 solo on Sunday. And then I'm going to try to come back and do a couple of other live streams. I'll be sending out a Facebook invitation for the Guitar Studio 50th anniversary live stream, which will be on June 24th. And I'll probably come back in and do a couple other things between here and there. But at least I'm learning how to pull up and then some videos. I think the one thing I'm not able to do here is just play audio. So what I might do is just grab some songs. Well, a lot of stuff is on YouTube already and is a video, so I can pull those up and we'll play some music and then do some long form videos and just have a good time and cut up a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. I never thought 50 years later that we'd be doing this kind of thing here, but I really do like it. Until next time, y'all. Just I always say on my radio show, next time.